following video is a copyright production of the Arkansas Association of High School Officials. Visit our website at AAHSO.com. The Arkansas Association of High School Officials, we're helping good officials get better. Technical assistance provided by Dax Hill, Greg Downham, Tyrone Blanks, and George Demetrio. Our video editor is Kenny Sanders. Our executive producer is Walt Coleman. I'm your host, Todd Allen. I can read the rule book 1,000 times, but it doesn't really sink in until I see it live. With Get It Right, I can see it live. GetItRightTraining.com. Enter the promo code AAHSO and let's get it right. Clear, simple, easy to understand language, the Ready and Study Guide to the NFHS football rules will make you a better football official. If you want to get better at the rules, get this book, the Ready and Study Guide. When you're through learning, you're through. Started off running this play here from the wide shot. Not a lot to look at. Can't really tell much about it, but we got the end zone shot too. And let me show you the players involved, because this involves potential keys for the referee and the umpire. So it involves this left tackle, the center, and here's the umpire right here. So watch this play, and that's just it. There is high-low combinations. A little crowded in there to see, and there's not a lot of contact on the top side, but the center does get a piece of him, and we clearly cut him from the tackle position. So this is a high-low combination block. Remember, chop blocks, high-low, low-high, anywhere, anytime on the field are always a foul. This is a great pickup by the umpire for an illegal chop block. Lots going on in this play that I want you to take a look at, and primarily it's going to involve these players right here, but the play that's going to make the block is up here, and the line judge is here at the bottom of the screen. So things to notice right off the bat. So the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage, and I want you to look at the line judge as soon as the ball is snapped. So if we go back here to the snap, and he doesn't even read the play, he begins to react and move down the field, and is actually moving with the shoulders turned as the ball is caught. And line judge, you've got some important decisions to make. Head linesman at the top of the screen is kind of hanging around the line of scrimmage a little bit better, which I think is a much better idea. As this play develops, if we go back just to the beginning of the play, there's no reason to move downfield. We could just be parked at the line of scrimmage and be standing still, because we got to make a decision right now. The ball's snapped at about the 40-yard line. So line judge and head linesman together got to make a decision about this ball being caught beyond or behind the line of scrimmage. Obviously, that's important for a couple of different reasons. We've got some players that go downfield and begin to block. This player right here. And we also have the potential for an ineligible downfield as linemen are starting to move beyond the line of scrimmage. So with that going on, the best perspective for us is at the line of scrimmage. Now look at this player right here and relation to the block that he's going to make on this player right here. And who's looking at whom in this play as it begins to break down? I want you to notice the back judge right here up the field. Back judge is clearly working this area right in where this potential block takes place, out ahead of the play. Let's go to this end zone shot. Again, here you've got a great look at the back judge, and he's looking right in at this player for this potential block. Now I want to go back to the wide shot, because I just want to ask, is this player in chase mode? And if we draw a line through this potential block right here, he is clearly in the front. The approach for this block is going to be clearly in the front, as this would be in chase mode somewhere back here, which he's not. So again, you watch the contact there, back to the end zone view, and you see there the block starts in the side, the player goes by, and there's just a little bit of a shove in the back. But the important thing about this block is where the initial contact is. That initial contact is on the side. Now back again to the wide shot, not sure where the line judge is focused right here, as it looks like he's more focused on the ball carrier. Not sure that he picks up this position of this blocker right here. And that's the most important part of the block right there. And you see he's straight line behind it. So he has absolutely no perspective of that potential side block. But the back judge does. So back judges, the message to take away from this is, if you see this potential flag thrown for a block in the back, you got to be involved in penalty enforcement, and you got to communicate, because you could tell the line judge, I had a clear view of this. The player did not come from chase mode, and there was contact in the side before that shove in the back. So this is not a block in the back, and we incorrectly officiate this, but we can tell when we break this play down all of the components that are involved, and the angles that we take can fool us. We've got to work together as a crew. Most importantly, we've got to communicate. Don't guess at these potential blocks in the back. See the whole thing, recognize players that are in chase mode, and you'll get these plays right for a potential block in the back. Here's a play as we evaluate the game that we give an incorrect call for the line judge and a no call to the referee. And watch the play here. And look, this is red zone action and third and very, very short if you look at the line again at the top of the screen. We just got activity before the ball is snapped, and we're now trying to figure out who this is on. And the line judge ends up calling this on number 79, an interior lineman, which we don't see any activity on the interior line. Nothing that looks like early movement by the interior line. And we get a no call to the referee because look at the action of the quarterback. And I want to show you this end zone shot as well. This big bob like this is the quarterback simulating the start of the play, drawing the defense in the neutral zone. This is 100%. Just a false start on the quarterback. He's simulating the start of the play. And referees, you're responsible for the quarterback and everybody in the backfield simulating the start of the play. And we want these actions to be big. And this one's clearly big. So again, a no call for the referee for missing this action on the quarterback. I really think the line judge picks up the action of the head bobs and sees early movement on the offensive side and throws a flag, and we're correct in how we officiate the play because this is a false start on the offense. We just reported on the wrong player. Referees, you got to focus and concentrate. When the quarterback simulates the start of the play, we want this to be a false start. Now, here's another caveat. If you see this action early in the game and doesn't draw the defense offside, and the play runs, it's okay. Let's just go in and warn the quarterback about a possible head bob and simulating the start of the play. Also a good idea to talk to the head coach if we warn. Now, we never want to warn when we draw the defense into the neutral zone. If the action is so egregious the defense picks up and gets in the neutral zone, it's a foul for a false start on the offense. This is one of those plays where we flip the field, and flipping the field punts, fumbles, and in this case an interception can make the mechanics of officiating the play very, very difficult. But when we flip the field, the back judge becomes the referee, and the referee becomes the back judge, in so much as you've got to keep the plays boxed in. And watch, this is an interception that occurs, and then after change of possession, now we get to this point in the play, and there's really only two blocks to look at. We've got this block, which is close to the ball carrier, picked up here by the line of scrimmage official. This at the bottom of the screen is the line judge. And then we have this block here, which is going to have to be picked up by the back judge. And back judge, this player behind you or behind the play here, he's basically just out of the play. So you got to get upfield and get the blocks and know exactly where this line of scrimmage official is, and knowing that he's going to be working closer to the ball because he's tracking forward progress up the field. And we see this block that occurs below the waist here. Back judge, this is a tough play for you. Line judge would also expect that you might have a shot at this, but we can tell that you're clearly focused closer to the ball carrier. Here comes the referee swimming upstream because all the flow of the play is this way and the referee's moving this way. So you're taking yourself out of the play and giving up boxing the play in. You've got goal line responsibilities, but you end up on the wrong side of this play trying to get your flag in the correct location. Now, just some mechanical help for referees. When these types of plays happen, just immediately throw your flag. You know your flag is going to be in the wrong location, but you got to keep working the play. This is a good field, and then we've got a big logo in the middle of the field, and then we've got these stripes that are 5 yards every other color. So from the 30-yard line, you basically are just going to have to pick up two big blocks of color where this foul occurred. Within a matter of just a few seconds, you can get this play at the 40-yard line. And yeah, you're going to miss it by 3 or 4 yards, but that's fine. We're just happy that you picked this block up because it's clearly a foul. And nobody else on the crew is going. So you got a crew-saving call here on a block below the waist, but you can't take yourself out of the play. If we miss this spot by 5 yards, that's okay. Find a quick geographical location, get your flag on the ground, continue to officiate the play. You got the foul right, but you got to finish. This is a correct call for an illegal block below the waist. Roughing or running into the kicker or holder or snapper are fouls that have been particularly challenging for us at times to be consistent because there's such a great area where it's strictly judgment call. The Reading Study Guide to the NFHS football rules does a great job of talking about roughing or running into the kicker, and it begins on page 65 of the 2016 edition. If you have that book, I'd recommend you get that out and reread that. It's good information.
Let's watch this play, which is a particularly challenging play because it involves a rugby-style kicker. When these rugby-style kickers came into the game, they created a whole new wave of challenges for us to be consistent because the National Federation of High School Rule just says that the kicker's protected when it's reasonably certain that a kick will be made. These players, by their very nature, take away that reasonable assertion. So when they get outside the pocket and begin to run and then kick the ball, if the defender has time to stop and not make contact, then the protection is afforded. But that may not be roughing the kicker, it may just be simply an unnecessary roughness call. But when the kicker runs out of the pocket and kicks the ball on the run and then is immediately hit, there is no reasonable assertion that a kick is going to be made. These players are not protected like in this play. This is not a foul for roughing the kicker. Again, the kicker goes out of the pocket. He's taking on a position as a runner. Now, if he were to get set and become still and then take a couple of steps and kick it like a traditional punter and then we're hit, I think we could get to running into the kicker or roughing the kicker in that case. But when this players just run and then basically kick it on the run and then are hit, there's no reasonable assertion for the defense. We can't expect them to pull up after they've already fully committed to tackling the player. And you can't be a kicker and a runner. You have to be a runner, and then you have to stop, and then you have to reclassify yourself as a kicker. Again, this is a judgment call, and I don't know if we can clearly illustrate this on tape. But we can look at this play and evaluate it, and this player is not a protected player. We incorrectly call here this play roughing the kicker. I want to take some time to talk about the free blocking zone. We visited this several times in training videos this year, but it needs reinforced. I got a call from a coach and a game official this week, so there's some questions about the tight end being in the formation. I've included this diagram from the Reading Study Guide, and you can see that the 4x3 rectangle box is 4 yards either side laterally from the spot the ball is snapped and 3 yards lengthwise. So what we're talking about here is a box that's 8 yards total by 6 yards total, with the ball being in the very center. Now, the interesting thing about the free blocking zone, and it's defined in Rule 2.17.1, if you want to read that, it defines a player as being in the zone when any part of his body is in the zone. So a tight end with his foot in the free blocking zone would be considered in the zone. I think because of that verbiage, it's pretty clear that the committee wants to include the tight end in a normal formation. So when we're just lined up normally, the tight end is in the free blocking zone, so he would be able, if meeting the rest of the criteria for blocking below the waist, he would be able to do that. We look at this play and we see that we have a double tight end set. Both of these tight ends are in the free blocking zone, so this blocking below the waist is perfectly legal. Just having a clear understanding of blocking below the waist in the free blocking zone makes officiating these plays much easier. Also, by philosophy on our website, we have a handout for blocking below the waist, and this handout is relative to a quarterback being in shotgun or pistol formation, because the ball leaves the zone much quicker when we deep snap it or snap it to a quarterback who's in a shotgun or pistol formation. So the rules do change a little bit, and then it becomes relevant whether the lineman is in a 2, 3, or a 4-point stance. When the quarterback's under center like this, even from a 2-point stance, we're still able to block low at the snap because you can see the ball is still clearly in the zone when these blocks are made, although these players are in a 3-point stance. So just understanding and being consistent with blocking below the waist is a big challenge, but something that we've got to get right every play. Last play of the week, and this one's from our mailbag, Linda Julius, who's an education coordinator for a group of football officials in the British Columbia of Canada, sent this and just wanted to tell us they're playing National Federation of High School Rules up there. They're the only province in Canada to do so. So he wanted us to take a look at this play, which has created some controversy in their association, and wanted my take. I'm happy to look at this play for you guys. And first thing that grabbed me is the field. Boy, that's got to be really tough to officiate on. These guys are really dedicated. But let's take a look at this play. And what we've got here is just a runner moving to the outside and one of his teammates swimming upstream. So red flags ought to be up. And we've got a defenseless player, as this player who is pursuing the ball carrier is clearly, his focus of concentration is away from the approaching block. And then we've got that contact high, wham. And all three elements in there. Player who is swimming upstream, defenseless player, and contact high meets the criteria. That's unnecessary roughness. And this play properly officiated as we disqualify this player for this high contact. So you can see that there's ends up with helmet-to-helmet contact. Although he did lead with the shoulder, it's not a play where we're leading with the crown of the head, but it is high contact, unnecessary. We could have taken this player out of the Could have taken this defender out of the play by just allowing the block to be somewhere other than high, which we don't do. So this is a properly officiated play and a proper ejection that we would have supported had we had this play in our association. So glad to look at that, Lynn. Appreciate you sending it to us, and keep watching the videos. And we'll look forward to seeing something else out of British Columbia, Canada. That's all the time we had for this week. I've got a bunch of plays left that I wanted to go over, but I've just simply run out of time. I appreciate you sticking with this. We've got a jump start on next week. We're to week 8, the grind of a long season, all of the practices, the injuries, the pressure to make the playoffs, the seeding. So it's just all piling up on the players, the coaches, the fans, the parents, and even the game officials. So we just got to knuckle down here the last 3 weeks and finish really strong. You guys have done a great job. We've seen some remarkable improvement just from week 1 to week 8. But I want to challenge you to keep that improvement level up. Keep getting better and better each week and finish strong through this year. So for Tyrone, Dax, Greg Downham, Walt Coleman, Kenny and Matt, and everyone here on staff at the Arkansas Association of High School Officials, I'm Todd Allen saying I hope to see you on the field real soon.